Welcome to the June 2026 KDAB Newsletter podcast. We're deep into conference season now, and that time of year when Qt, C++, and Rust all seem to wake up at once and start competing for your attention. It's a good problem to have, unless you're trying to keep your calendar under control. This month's newsletter brings a genuinely practical mix. Javier Cordero digs into a subtle Qt quick rendering behavior. We've got a customer showcase from Motor AI on building calm, confidence-building HMIs for autonomous vehicles, 3 new episodes of The Curious Developer covering everything from modern C++ to functional programming to the C++ Standards Committee, and a fresh batch of video releases across Qt Widgets, Qt UI classes, and CLion workflows. And with Oxidize 2026 coming up fast, Rust is very much in the air too. So plenty to explore. Let's get into it. How long does it take for an item to become visible? Javier Cordero kicks things off with a deep dive into a deceptively simple question. When you make a Qt quick item visible, how long does it actually take to show up? Turns out visible doesn't always mean visible right now. Javier walks through a practical measurement technique using Q quick item visible changed, Q quick item ensure polished, and Q quick window after frame end, to track the delay in frames between intention and reality. It's a neat bit of engineering detective work and a great resource if you're chasing down rendering hiccups or trying to understand what Qt quick is really doing under the hood. Motor AI Showcase: Engineering the Passenger Experience in Level 4 Autonomous Vehicles. KDAB helped Motor AI in Berlin to build a passenger-facing interface for Level 4 autonomous vehicles, the kind where the car drives itself entirely, and the UI has to do the reassuring normally handled by a human driver. The solution blends a scalable 2D interface built with Slint and a lightweight custom 3D engine that renders the vehicle's surroundings in a stylized, monochrome look. The 3D texture feeds straight into Slint, giving passengers a unified, calm, and confidence-building experience. It's understated by design, the kind of interface that makes you feel safe without ever shouting for attention. Oxidize 2026, Berlin, September 14th to the 16th. Oxidize 2026 is coming up this September in Berlin, co-hosted by KDAB and Fair Systems. It's the annual gathering focused on applied Rust, the real-world production-grade side of the ecosystem, with workshops, talks, and hands-on sessions for teams building reliable systems in Rust today. If you're planning to attend, now's a good time to secure your spot. Several sessions have already filled up, and new ones have been added since last month, expanding the program even further. Whether you're working in embedded, safety-critical environments, or just deepening your Rust practice, Oxidize continues to be one of the most practical events on the calendar. The Curious Developer: 3 new episodes. Jesper Pedersen is back with 3 new episodes of The Curious Developer, each one digging into a different corner of modern C++. Jesper has a way of making even the trickier parts of the language feel approachable, thoughtful, clear, and always with the light touch of humor he brings to technical conversations. Modern C++, staying current without starting over. Francis Buontempo joined Jesper Pedersen for a conversation about staying confident and effective in modern C++, especially if you're working in embedded, automotive, or other performance-critical domains where change can feel overwhelming. Francis and Jesper walk through which features genuinely matter day to day, why C++ continues to hold its ground even with languages like Rust gaining traction, and how developers can build a practical path forward without feeling like they need to start from scratch. Jesper keeps the discussion grounded and approachable, making modern C++ feel far less intimidating than its reputation suggests. Functional programming in C++, abstractions, immutability, and why it's just good C++. Ivan Čukić sits down with Jesper Pedersen to explore how functional programming ideas have quietly become part of everyday C++. They dig into lambdas, ranges, std variant, immutability, and sum types, not as academic concepts, but as tools that make real-world code safer and easier to reason about. Ivan brings deep experience from the functional side, while Jesper keeps the conversation practical, showing how these techniques fit naturally into modern C++ without requiring a shift to a different paradigm. It's a thoughtful look at how just good C++ often overlaps with functional thinking. Contemporary C++, modules, reflection, and what's coming in C++ 26. Contemporary C++, modules, reflection, and what's coming in C++ 26. Daniela Engert joins Jesper Pedersen to talk about her work on the C++ Standards Committee and the features shaping C++ 26. She shares her path into committee work, her contributions to modules, and why she invests personal time and resources into helping evolve the language. Jesper guides the conversation with his usual clarity, highlighting how these upcoming features will affect everyday development. Daniela also gives a candid look at the realities of committee life: intense technical debate, long hours, and definitely not the tropical vacations some imagine. KDAB video releases. Qt Widgets and more, the delegating delegate. Jesper introduces the delegating delegate, a pattern that lets you avoid assigning delegates column by column. He even digs into Qt source code to uncover what might be a small oversight, or a tiny mystery, in Qt itself. Qt Widgets and more, Qt UI classes, smart pointers versus raw pointers. Giuseppe D'Angelo joins Jesper to talk about whether you should switch Qt Creator's raw UI pointers to smart pointers. The conversation goes deeper than you'd expect, touching on destructors, ownership, and the subtleties of Qt's generated code. Qt with CLion, 5 new episodes. 5 new episodes have been added to the Qt with CLion series, where Jesper Pedersen draws on years of experience with Qt Creator and advanced IDE workflows to show how CLion can streamline everyday development. These episodes focus on practical, real-world techniques for navigating code, managing Git, and keeping your workflow clean and predictable. Reviewing your own changes in CLion. Jesper demonstrates how to review your changes before committing, a simple but essential habit for catching stray debug lines or accidental edits. He walks through a clean workflow that helps keep your repository tidy and your commits intentional. Git interactive rebase in CLion. This episode highlights one of CLion's strengths: interactive rebase. Jesper shows how to reorder, squash, or refine commits directly within the IDE, making it easier to shape your history into something clear and meaningful. Splitting a Git commit into 2 in CLion. Sometimes a commit ends up containing 2 unrelated changes. Jesper explains how to split a commit cleanly in CLion, ensuring your history stays logical and easy to follow, especially during code reviews. Git conflict resolution in CLion. When a merge or rebase introduces conflicts, CLion's tools can help you resolve them quickly. Jesper walks through the interface and shows you how to identify, understand, and fix conflicts without leaving the IDE. Git blame in CLion. In this episode, Jesper uses git blame to trace the origin of tricky lines of code. Who wrote them? When were they introduced? And which commit they came from? It's a practical way to understand context before making changes. Upcoming KDAB training. Advanced QML, Berlin, Germany, 3 days in English, from August 18th to the 20th. This course dives deep into QML and C++ integration, scene graph profiling, and performance optimization. You'll explore OpenGL in QML, learn to identify UI bottlenecks, and apply best practices for building high-performance applications, even on constrained hardware. Debugging and profiling C++ applications on Linux, Berlin, Germany, 3 days in English, September 22nd to the 24th. A practical introduction to the tools that help developers and testers find bugs and diagnose performance issues in C++ applications on Linux. It's a hands-on course aimed at improving confidence and efficiency when working with real-world systems. Advanced Programming with Qt Widgets, Berlin, Germany, 3 days English, October 13th to the 15th. This advanced Qt Widgets course focuses on Qt internals, large-scale application architecture, and system integration. Optional topics include multi-threading and IPC, making it a solid choice for experienced developers looking to deepen their Qt expertise. Rust courses online for 2026. KDAB's online Rust training courses are now open for registration, offered in collaboration with Ferris Systems, a long-standing member of the Rust community since before Rust 1.0. Below is an overview of the upcoming sessions. Full details are available in the complete schedule. Introduction to Rust, online, 5 half-days, English, September 21st to the 25th. A foundational Rust course developed in collaboration with Ferris Systems, ideal for developers new to Rust or transitioning from C++. Embedded Rust, online, 3 half-days, English, October 7th to the 9th. A focused course on embedded Rust development, covering patterns, tooling, and techniques for building reliable systems on constrained hardware. Introduction and Embedded Rust Combo, online, 8 half-days, English, September 21st to October 9th. A combined program offering both the introductory and embedded courses back-to-back for a complete Rust learning path. To stay on top of all the RHEL event news, upcoming trainings, conferences, and everything KDAB is involved in, head over to kdab.com/events. And if you want the links to every item we talked about today, they're right there in the description at kdab.com/newsletter or in the newsletter itself if you're already subscribed. Thanks for listening to the KDAB Newsletter podcast. Your feedback and questions generally help shape these episodes, so don't hesitate to reach out. We'll be back with more Qt, C++, and Rust goodness next month. I'll see you then.